Hey, Canucks fans, welcome to Kempner Canucks. My name is RevTrev, and I'm so glad you're here because today we're going to be talking about the Canucks rebuild killer. Yes, we're going to dive into some what ifs because everyone knows that health is wealth. That's health is wealth, and especially with the Vancouver Canucks. What if this team stays healthy? Now, I got huge news, everyone. I have another guest, and I'm super excited about it. Swervin Yrvin is on the other side of this promo, and I can't wait to have this awesome conversation about the Canucks rebuild killer. We're going to dive into all kinds of people like Demko and Hedel and all kinds of things. So you don't want to Coots. You don't want to miss this. Let's go. Welcome, Swervin Yrvin, to the channel. Now, you are half of the incredible Canucks channel, Headspace Hockey. Gerald and you guys do an amazing job. But tonight, you and I are the dynamic duo.
That's
we
right.
got some Bertuzzi and Naslund jerseys. Okay. So I'm trying. I can't replace Gerald, but I'm going to try my best. Welcome to the channel, man.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate you. And hello to the Kempner Canucks gang.
Yeah, so we're going to be doing, this is going to be a video that's going to go. Also, it's going to be on the audio. If you guys haven't started following me yet, Kempner Canucks podcast, I'm on Apple and on Spotify, so check it out. And for all the, by the way, you're going to like this, Swervin. There are people that have literally been reaching out to me saying, oh, whoops, as I just, sorry, I was trying to get it so we were both closer. Reaching out to me from all over the globe. There's someone from London that said, I don't know what I'm going to do without Sportsnet 650, and I found your channel, and I'm listening to you now. Thank you so much for trying to fill the gaps. I was like, that was cool, right?
Right.
So it's pretty cool that we can have, there's Canuck fans across the world, and then we're trying our best to have some good content together.
And fill the void, you know. It's pretty sad what happened to 650 is a part of a lot of our daily routines. I don't know about you, but I was
totally
Monday to Friday while I was working, I always had Halford and Breath in my ear, and then would come home and catch up on Canucks talk with Dodd and Drance. So yeah, it's too bad.
Yeah, and we know that the future is like going this way. Radio is struggling. You know, newspapers struggled for a while. The internet's taking over. There's podcasts. There's YouTube content. There's social media. It's a new world. Rick Dollywall talks about that all the time, and it's kind of fun because guys like you and I can have fun and be fans and talk about our team, and people are interested. And it's not like we're experts, but I would say, well, maybe you are. But I would say I'm just a big fan. Yep. And I just got a mic and a camera, and I paid for internet, and I'm able to talk about my Canucks, and I love it. I love it. It's so much fun. And so anyone that comes into our channels and listens, we're so blessed to have them a part of it. Canucks Nation is awesome. It's great to be a part of this Canucks community.
For sure. I heard you mention that when you talked to Brandon Astle. We do get kind of a bad rap. But really, like, without everything that this team's gone through for decades plus, you know, it comes with the territory, and we deserve better better luck than we've had.
Totally. So this team's in the full rebuild now. They've admitted it. We're in it. They've made massive changes with our management, with our roster. We've traded away guys like Garland, Höglander, Sherwood. I feel like I'm missing. Of course, Quinn Hughes, JT Miller. There's been Marcus Pettersson. There's been massive changes to this roster. So we're in the rebuild. How are you feeling after watching Manny Malhotra and Ryan Johnson now at the helm? When you're looking at this change, you're looking at the way he drafted. How's your overall feeling in the beginning of this, like now restart of the rebuild? Like the rebuild was trading away those guys to get assets and picks and all those kind of thing, prospects. But here we are now. It's on that. Okay, there's a new general manager. How are you feeling about that when it comes to this season and the future of the Vancouver Canucks?
I'll start with Ryan Johnson. Just as far as it being a rebuild and them actually using those words, it just feels so much more tangible, because in the past we would just hold on to guys no matter what. You always heard that thing of, if you remember, with early on in the Jim Benning era, it was, we can't tear this down because we still have the Sedins. It's like, well, you can, but you just won't. And so this is real profound change, the way that they have moved since the Quinn Hughes trade. And the one that really signals it for me is the Marcus Pettersson trade, because that pick that they got back is way out there. There's a good chance that both he and Manny Malhotra won't have a job by then. But it's for the betterment of the team. As far as Manny Malhotra goes, though, I have faith. I know that with coaches, people will complain whether it's, oh, this guy's a retread or this guy's too green. Well, they went with the latter, and it's one or the other, right? If you're a retread, you can't be green. You can't be a retread. And as far as Manny goes, he's a guy who has seen it all. He's been around the league. He fighted his way to stay in the league during his playing career. And he's a great communicator, and that's the way he is behind closed doors. He's a calming presence, and he's relatable. That's the sense you get. Like, we don't know because we're not in the room, but there's a lot you can get just off the vibe that comes off the screen when you see and hear these guys talk.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Sorry. I thought you were going. I thought you were going to say some more. But you're so right when it comes to this. And there's a lot of fans that were excited. The challenge that we have and is the way we drafted. We don't see these guys for at least 2 seasons. And so it's a long time when you're sitting there. And so this idea that, hey, we've started the rebuild, now we get. Well, the cool thing is the young guys are going to be playing, and we have other young guys in the pipeline now. So, for example, if you think about the coach we got, even though we stayed in-house, and, once you went with Ryan Johnson, it's like, we're going to Manny Malhotra. Like, they want a Calder Cup together. But if you think about that piece, he's a guy who can develop young players, and we have a young team. Half of our team is young. So, I mean, who else would you want to develop young players than Manny Malhotra? So, personally, I like that idea. You know what I mean? And it seems like it could work. I mean, it's going to take time to find out. So, what do you think, Swervin Yrvin, about the controversy about not drafting the son and not having the dad-son thing? I've got some pretty strong feelings, but I'd love to hear your thoughts.
I'll be completely honest with you. I was worried because just given what's happened inside the locker room the last 2 years, it's almost like they were inviting drama unnecessarily, especially when the separation between Caleb and the next best prospects, be it Vigo Bjork or Chase Reed or whoever you wanted, wasn't that much. So there really could have been other ways they went. I just had this worry that more bad than good could happen out of having a father and son work together that closely. Now, if anyone could pull it off, it's got to be these guys.
That's fair. That's fair. But if you think about let me just push back on my view of this.
Go ahead.
It doesn't matter what the name is on the back of the jersey. You just picked him 3rd overall. And if you're going to favor him because you're his dad and he's your son, it doesn't matter. You better be playing that third overall pick. You better be developing that third overall pick. You better be giving him more leash than the other. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I'm sitting there going, if he's good, play him, develop him, get him going. And I know it's not for a little bit, but the thing though, that's that little thing that people want to talk about. You know what? I think landing Novotny was massive.
Oh yeah.
The reports coming out, I'm like, what if Novotny turns into the next? And I don't know. I don't want to get overly dramatic, but this is going to be like over the top. Okay, Alexander Mogilny. Like when I look at him and think of him and watch him on the ice, I'm like, he looks like Mogilny to me, but he's not. I'm not saying he's going to be. But imagine if he like the steal of the draft is actually Novotny.
He could be the steal of the Quinn Hughes trade.
Right?
Right.
So you get 4 first-round picks for Quinn Hughes. This is how it kick-started our rebuild. I don't know. Just saying. Just saying. Okay. So we're getting into speaking of which, we're getting into the what ifs. Okay. And tonight it's all about the what ifs. So let us dream. Okay. Some people, you're listening on the podcast or you're watching the video on YouTube and, or on Facebook and it's okay. Let's just dream. Okay. So everyone just say, but let's, what if the Canucks have actually a rebuild killer on the roster and his name, and you saw it in the thumbnail, is Thatcher Demko. We all know he is, when healthy, very good and he's in elite territory. What are the chances, honestly, if you think about the what ifs and Demko comes back healthy, do you think, like, how many points better could we be with a healthy Demko?
Well, I mean, he's good for at least like 7 more wins than we had, right? At the very least. And we've seen what he can do when he's on. And we've seen it in stretches and we've seen it in bursts. But it's whenever he's been in, and that's been the big if. But yeah, like any time he's been in there, he's been like top 3 goalie. Ever since that the end of that North Division year, he has also been the guy. But I think the problem with Demko, and Rutherford even said it when he first showed up. What do you think of the team? I think we have a good goalie, and that's kind of where it started and it ended in his eyes. And the problem was that the coaches, basically every coach we've had, has run him into the ground, into dust, just overplaying him. You remember that one year he had with Yaroslav Halak, and Halak couldn't win anything. And basically that's probably why he got his popliteus injury that one season, just overworking.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? Now, so if let's say it's a 50-50, right? That's probably in our best interest. You got Lankinen, Demko, the tandem, but they have a young defense. Half of our defense is super young. Okay, half of them are veterans. And as much as everyone wanted to praise the defense and say, our defense is amazing. We got shellacked last year. And part of it was because we couldn't get a shot on net, or we couldn't generate scoring opportunities. And it's just too much pressure on the defense. But we are also young. When we made that Quinn Hughes trade, all of a sudden we got real young, right? Mm-hmm. And we got the same guys. You got Verlander, you got Bouillon, and you got DPD, Mancini. You're sitting there going, oh my goodness. And you saw that they couldn't compete on a nightly basis. They had moments. That's the thing about these young guys. They have talent. They can play a little bit. They can play pretty well for spurts. But to be that consistent veteran right now, they're not there yet. So even if you have, like, Demko's basically that's the thing I'm worried about, is re-injuring himself, because he's got to do, from one side of the crease to the other, to do the splits, to do that. So I don't know. What do you think about the defense? And then with the pressure of these goalies, are they going to split them 50-50 or?
Well, on the defense, like, I think there's two things that are working for them is first one is the guys that they brought in. You know, Luke Shen being a veteran guy, he's going to be there to be that guiding light, and Jamie Alexiak, the big bruiser, he's going to be like basically a bodyguard. That's literally all they brought him in for. And the other thing for the defense is that I think I'm gonna. I mean, I don't know. I can't predict the future, but I'm gonna say Manny Malhotra's system is gonna be a little more organized than Adam Foote's,
Totally.
and that's gonna be huge. As for Demko, he's a competitive guy, and I'm sure he's one of those who just wants to get in the crease all the time. I don't know. They have to be disciplined. The reason he was overplayed, and not just him, but other goalies and other coaches, is that they're always trying to be in it and win games. And I don't think the goal this year is to win the Stanley Cup. I just think that the goal is to progress as a team. So hopefully they keep that in mind, that they don't overwork Demko. Keep him fresh, and get Tolopilo in for some games.
Yeah, I think that's all going to happen. I really do, and I don't know. I just keep thinking. I'm just using your illustration. If Demko stays healthy, he's good for at least 7 more wins. So we were behind the last team by 14 points. So that's now we're at even. So now we're fighting for the last spot for reals. And then there's the Manny Malhotra bump. That's going to give us at least another 4 wins. Okay. I don't know. I'm being optimistic here. So now we're in the that's a different story, right? So we're talking about, like, is this team still a bottom 5 team with a healthy Demko and a Manny Malhotra shift that's definitely better coaching?
I think we're going to surprise people.
That's the problem.
I think that when you have a coach like Manny and there's good vibes in the room, everyone's pulling in the same direction, everyone knows what their job is, there's so much more you can do. And with the way they were the season before last year, 24-25, just missing the playoffs, like the season following, which is this most recent season, shouldn't have been so bad. But it was just so many things working in conjunction. Now, I don't concern myself like you're talking about us being a bottom 5 team or not. I've given up on that. The whole notion that we need to tank. I get it. The top prospects coming up in the 2027 drafts, the likes of Landon Dupont and Alexis Joseph. It's pretty tantalizing stuff, but you see how damaging it can be in certain clubs when it's just year in, year out, not just losing, but playing like losers. There's a difference, right?
So you're talking about the losing culture compared to being competitive.
Let me ask you this. Do you think the San Jose Sharks played like losers last year?
No.
Yeah, they ended up with a lottery pick. So that's why, for me, I'm out on tanking. Whatever happens, if it does happen, sure. But I'm not gonna. I've never been one to cheer for it.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. So yeah, I think that's the thing about it's one of those things where you have two things that's going on. You want us to win and be competitive, and then you want us to lose so that we can get a better pick, because I think those top 5 picks this year are going to be absolutely franchise changing picks. And so I'm looking for that. Like, but who knows? What if this team gels? This is the what if video. What if Demko's healthy, right? So What if this team stays healthy? Can they make the playoffs?
That's the scariest thing.
And would you be happy about that?
More than getting close to the playoffs, the scariest thing is if they make it. Obviously, you want them to get in the Stanley Cup. You want them to win the Stanley Cup, and the only way they do that and have a chance to do that is getting in the playoffs. The problem is getting into the playoffs without a chance to win the Stanley Cup. And what we've seen in the past when we've, pushed our way in, like years like 2015, 2020, and as recent as 2024, it gives people in power this false sense of belief. Oh, we're just a couple of pieces away. Let's trade away pot goals and let's do some dumb stuff like that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
well, okay. So we're not the same as San Jose. Okay, that's a good question. Excuse me. So they've had a top 5 pick for 4 years in a row. So they've had those top 5 picks playing in their system. Now we don't have that. We traded superstars away and key role players away to start the rebuild. We're not the same. I don't think you or I believe that we're going to be close like San Jose to making the playoffs, that just missed the playoffs. I don't think we're going to be in the hunt. Just because if you look at the roster, we don't have a Celebrini. We don't have a Will Smith down the middle and a Misha down the middle. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's what you don't have. But they were super young and they gelled, and I think that's what you're talking about there. What if something crazy happens and, like, say, Coots makes the team and has a great rookie campaign?
Well, I mean, there's the flip side of what I said. I know. Sorry. Real quick with the playoff thing. The flip side of making the playoffs is everyone's going to look like $1 million and it'll bump up trade value. Good a lot of those guys. As far as if Coots makes the team, yeah, I think he would have to do something pretty incredible in training camp to prove that he deserves that spot. And I'm not sure he's there. As hopeful as I am for Braden Coots, looked great at Dev Camp. I don't know if you watched any of that. But he was definitely heads and shoulders above the other prospects that have 1 year less of development. And he played with swag. Like this kind of cockiness. How that's going to translate into the NHL, I don't know, because he's only 5'11". He's still only 19 years old. If he makes the team, it will come at the expense of someone like Aturatu or Max Sasson. So, and then it becomes a question of, is it really going to be worth it to keep him in the NHL, where he might get his head caved in, or would you rather have him play big minutes in the AHL, become stronger and become more conditioned, and learn how to lead a team, learn how to run a power play and play big minutes on the PK, this, that, and the other, right?
Yeah, I think Abbotsford, you're right, is the place for him to continue to develop, right?
Mm-hmm. I think it's a smart thing to do. There's just no rush to have him. We don't really need him, right? If we don't have him, we've got the center spots filled up.
Totally. And so I've got the lineup sitting here. If you're listening on the audio podcast, you can't see this, but I have. By the way, I've changed all the numbers to the new numbers. The 4 players that have changed the numbers. So if you're like looking at this graphic and going, "Who's number 8?" It's William. Okay. So one of the players, Leckermacky, also switched his number 23 back to Rossi. So that one's kind of confusing. So you're like, why do you have Leckermacky in the center? Okay. So I like putting the bro line at the first line. Okay. So Ogren, Rossi, Besser. I thought they were their best line last year. Then I have DeBrusk, who's still at the team, Pettersson, who's still at the team, and then I have Gallagher on the right. Now that might, I don't know who else you put there. Maybe you put Leckermacky on the right instead of Gallagher. I'm not sure. I personally would love to do Leckermacky on the left, Pettersson in the center, and Carlson on the right, and just do the Swedish chef line and just go for it. Okay. But so there's that, but I'm going DeBrusk, Pettersson, Gallagher. Then it's Hedel again. What happens if he's there? Cotter, and then Lecker-Mackey, and then it goes fourth line would be Drew O'Connor, Ratu, and Carlson. So you're saying if Coots makes it, it's either Ratu or Cotter that's not in the center position, right?
Is Cotter a center?
Yeah,
Not actually that
he
familiar.
is. He can play center and left wing.
Okay. It seems like he's
But
going to be
as
guy.
you talk, I'll make sure I'm correct on that.
Okay. Yeah, he'll either be in the three hole or the 4C. Just looking at your lineup, I think I agree with it. I'd rather have Carlson somewhere in the top 6, though.
Yeah,
just
but then where do you move Gallagher?
I mean, I don't think he minds playing on the fourth line. I don't think he'll be without minutes. I mean, definitely don't want DeBrusk there. DeBrusk and Pettersson is such old hat now. By now, we know it doesn't work. And yeah, like you said, who knows if he's even going to be on the team by training camp.
Yeah. So this is the thing, right? It's kind of crowded at the moment, and we're the worst team in the league. so here we are, and it's like trying to get spots. Oh, by the way, Cotter is a center. He's a right-handed shot center. No, left-handed shot center. So he can play left wing and center. But if you're looking at this, so it's not him there. It's got to be Hedel in the middle. Then he's a centerman.
Perhaps.
Right?
When we traded for Hedel, there was always this thought that we needed to put him at center because obviously we traded JT Miller away. But I always felt like his play style would possibly mesh well with Pettersson.
Yeah,
but that's
that would be awesome
in an ideal world. Like if Pettersson got his foot speed back up.
Well, and it comes back to like, what if Hedel is healthy? What do you do with that? Like, I'm anticipating that Hedel's going to come into the league, into the season, and he's either going to go on the LTIR or he's going to play a few games, and hopefully, Lord forbid, he gets injured. Right? He can't stay healthy.
Sorry, one more thing on the Coots bit is one thing that would be a plus for him is he's a right-handed center.
Right.
And we're so bereft of right-handed pivots. That was one of the big discussions of why we could have possibly went for Shane Wright. Yeah, so like I said, every guy you see there is lefty, including Hedel. Now with Hedel's health, gosh, that's such a touchy subject because it's not just about his health; it's about possibly his quality of life. Because it's not just like a spotty injury history. Like with Besser, it's like Besser has had all these injuries and they've been different body parts. With Hedel, it's concussion, and yeah, that's a pretty risky prospect.
Absolutely. I know I am very nervous about it, but now I'm not him. I don't know his health, where he's at. It's his career. It's his life.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to make that decision. From a person outside looking in, it looks scary to me. It just looks scary to me. Now let's dive into a little bit of other regarding the younger guys like Lecker-Mackey. We need him to develop as well, at least to play well. So if you don't want to keep him, you can trade him. But maybe he's the guy that you want to develop because he's got that awesome shot and he can play the power play. And there's also Carlson, who, as Brendan Astle said from the Abbotsford Canucks, the broadcaster play-by-play guy, he said, listen, I think he's going to score 20 goals this year. He should have scored 20 last year. And I'm like thinking, wow, like, so you got some good players sitting there. And, Sasson is another guy that needs to be on this roster as well. This is like, it's so crammed with the bottom end talent at this stage. But like, what if the Carlson gets in the top 6 and starts scoring and or Lekkerimäki, that changes things with this team, doesn't it?
No, with Lekkerimäki, he's just coming off his shoulder surgery,
I
if I
believe
remember
so.
correctly. So fingers crossed with him that he can come back and rehabilitate it completely by the time training camp rolls around. But in the case of him and Linus Karlsson, is they have a long-standing relationship with Manny Malhotra going back to their days with the Abbotsford Canucks, and that's going to come into play.
Totally.
And not only that, they traded Höglander out and brought Brendan Gallagher in, not to play the same roles. So there is going to be that opportunity there to be in scoring positions, especially for Linus Karlsson, I do believe. Yeah, if the minutes are there, the opportunities are there, of course, 20 goals are definitely in the realm of possibility. I would love to see, though, a good season for Jonathan Lekkerimäki. I've seen his shot in person in warm-ups. It's like once it's on the stick, it's off. You can't even track the puck. He shoots it so fast. Yeah, and he like what I was saying about the relationship with the coach. He never had that with Adam Foote. He asked Gerald. He'll tell you all the time. Last season, we played against Toronto Maple Leafs at home. He scored a beautiful goal, then somehow got benched for the third period, and it's just complete mystery why. I don't see that happening with Manny Malhotra.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So there's a lot. I mean, so some of the comments here. Chris says, "What if Cotter ends up with EP40? So he's playing on that left-hand side. That's a possibility. Actually, I kind of like that idea. Why not?"
The book on Cotter, from what I've heard, is he's a guy with untapped potential, similar to when Kyle Wellwood came to the team way back when. He's a guy who was underutilized, but everyone knew he had the hands. So that's kind of what we're hearing about Cotter. But we're also hearing that he brings the physicality. Who knows? I think that we'll try all sorts of combinations at training camp when that rolls around in less than 2 months.
Yeah, we're gonna find out real soon.
Yeah.
KG Green, good to see you, man. Says Petey, Rossi, Coots, Ratu down the middle this year. That's exactly what I got there. Obviously he's got Petey above all those guys, which is fine. I have no problem with that. That doesn't sound bad to me. That's the other thing we're not talking about is I'm anticipating that Rossi is going to take another step. Like, why shouldn't he? Young, he's already scored 60 points with Minnesota. Why can't he do that with Vancouver?
I mean, he was showing a lot down the stretch this last season, especially with the line mates he had. So it's definitely conceivable he takes a step.
Yeah,
he's still pretty young.
For sure. Yeah, so there's a lot of different comments in here regarding this team, and I appreciate everyone being here. But when you're thinking about this team and how it's going to develop, there's a lot of what ifs at this stage. A lot of what ifs, and they won't be answered till that puck drops and we see. We got training camp, you've got the preseason, you got all this stuff that's going to be happening. And then you got this roster that I've had up here for way too long, but it's hard to know. And, it's one of those things where it's hard to predict. And it seems like they're going to be a bottom feeder. It seems like they're going to be one of those ones that is just not going to be great, but then there's a part of me is going, but what if they gel? What if Malhotra does somehow be able to make these guys play better as a unit, gets more out of them than Adam Foote did? That is like, oh my goodness. And maybe we're pivoting and it's like no longer, hey, we're rebuilding. It's like maybe we brought Manny Malhotra in a year too early.
You think so?
Well, just say I want him to be. I wanted the commander of the Tank Nation to have stayed one more year and Manny to come, because
Right.
I am honestly worried that Manny, with his gifts of making young guys develop, I have this feeling that like he's gonna like. I don't think he's gonna put stupid lines together.
Well, on the development subject, you need that. It's more than just drafting the guys. Like I mentioned, Shane Wright, he's already been in the league for so long. Like I know 2022 seems like yesterday, but in hockey years, that's like a quarter of a career basically. And Seattle hasn't really done anything with him. So, like I said, it's more than just drafting. The name of the game is development. And as much as it would have been something to see Adam Foote in there another year, guiding these guys to a tank, I just don't think that long term that would have been healthy for these guys' development.
Yeah, and we're assuming everyone takes a step, right? We're assuming everyone takes a step. DPD last year regressed. He didn't have a great year. Now, most of the Canucks did not have great years, so I'm not using last year as a springboard, but we just assume, right? We're assuming that Pettersson's going to have a bounce back season. We're assuming that Verlander's going to take a step. We're assuming that, well, I think Bouillon and Hronek is good, but how much better can they be? So there's a lot of assumptions, a lot of what ifs, a lot of unknowns, and you're just sitting there
on
going,
defense.
Yeah, on defense.
We know it's not going to be the same six guys all year. Who do you have in the 7 and 8 spots?
I have Kudryavtsev and Mancini, so they'll be going in for Luke Schenn.
Okay. Gosh, I was forgetting about Mancini. I really want to see what Kudryavtsev does.
Totally. And I think Kudryavtsev's a left-handed shot defenseman, so you could literally have Kudryavtsev and Mancini as that third pairing. How much worse does that get? Like, I like Luke Schenn because he's physical, he's got veteran presence, but he's not the fastest guy. And if DPD's struggling, you put those other two guys in, they're pumped. No. They've been in Abbotsford playing there and doing well and all that kind of stuff. And next thing you know, you got the big lights of Vancouver, and I want to make this team, and they're hungry, and this is my shot. And Mancini's going, man, I want to stay in the NHL. And
yeah,
I mean,
Kudryavtsev plays a solid game. It's not loud, but that's a good thing. And I went to the last home game against the Kings there, and he was in the lineup. And every time he was on the ice, it was painfully obvious, in a good way for him. It was painfully obvious that he was a guy who hadn't been playing under Adam Foote. And in fact, he'd been playing under Jordan Smith and Manny Malhotra last year. So
yeah, I it's one of those things. I think I'm excited about these young players and seeing what they can do and seeing who they're going to be paired up with. Personally, gets me motivated to watch these games. The most being on the island, getting across, trying to get to games and all that kind of stuff. And most games I've gone to in one season is 4.
Okay.
And then, so the question is, how many games am I going to go to? How many games, Swervin, are you going to go to this year? Knowing it's a rebuild, I think tickets are going to be expensive to start the season. If they start to struggle, they're going to drop like a rock. And then all of a sudden, I'm going to be at a whole bunch more games. You know what I mean? So it's going to be fun to see. Now, if they're competitive, the ticket prices are going to stay higher. People are going to get excited in the city. We'll see. How many games do you think you're going to go to this year?
I'll put the over under at 3.5.
Yeah, you go.
I went to quite a few last year, so
yeah. So yeah, I mean that's you're down. You live down in Vancouver, so that's and it's closer for you, and it's great. I mean, if you can get to those games, that's awesome. I mean, it's something special about being in the building, right?
I really hope I can make it to that Minnesota game.
Yeah, that'd be fun. That would be a lot of fun. Yeah, it's gonna be a great year. I am super excited about it. Now, before we go, because this is just a cool what if video. I appreciate your takes, by the way, Swervin Yrvin. And I want to tell you too, I do appreciate how awesome you are in the Vancouver Canucks community. Different live streams. You have been a positive voice, a real great person. And I really do like your takes, and I really do what you guys are doing. Like, I really like what you guys are doing at Headspace Hockey. You and Gerald do very good content. I know it takes a bit to build it, but keep doing that because you guys are building it the right way. Your takes have been great, and I appreciate your guys' dedication to this team, to this community. But you have something special, and it's called a Dollarama hockey pack. I think you should rep one on stream for sure. Now, I know for the audio people, we're going to have to tell them what you're pulling here. But if you haven't been to Dollarama yet, and for our friend who's in London, you can't get these. I'm sorry. They cost $3, and they're all what can you say it's in these? Like, what are the, there's some pro sets in there from back in the day, right?
So
there's upper deck.
Yeah, they are. This is what they are. I'll show them right on camera right now.
I got to put you on.
It's roughly about in around 12 to 15 cards per pack. As you can see, it's $3 a bag.
Yeah.
Now, if you do the feelsies and try to see what's in there, most of the time it's going to be a pack of these, which is 5 top loaders. But what can possibly be inside? And they say it right here. Original sealed packs may contain. So sometimes I would say it's about, I think, like 1 in 20 packs, you'll get an original sealed pack from the 90s. And on July 1st, live on stream, I pulled one, and it was a pack of 15, and amazing. It was I don't know if you know the brand Score. It was that. It had 15 cards in there, and amazingly, it had a Gretzky, a Lemieux, a Lindros from juniors, and a Cam Neely, and a Claude Lemieux.
Wow.
In one pack. So what I'm going to do is I have 3 packs in front of me, and I'm going to let you choose. So you say middle, left, or right.
I am going to go with, I'm going to go with right. Right.
Okay.
One on the right.
It's my right hand as well.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so for you podcast listeners, you're gonna have to take my word. So he selected the one from my right hand. So we're gonna go ahead, see what's in there.
Let's see this. I'm so pumped. I love pulling hockey cards.
And I'm gonna
so much fun.
Okay, so inside, it's a top loader. Sorry, guys.
Yeah,
but I'm gonna let you see.
Loaders.
Okay, I'm gonna angle it so that you guys are the ones who see the first pull.
Okay, I'm so excited about this. Oh, I gotta put you in here. I gotta take me.
Oh, we can't hear you though, Trev.
It's Clark MacArthur from the Ottawa Senators. Is that right?
So this pack is a Canadian team theme. So they usually do themes. It's like sometimes it's 90s, sometimes it's goalies, sometimes Hall of Famers. So that's the first card. Just a little base pack. Ottawa Senators Clark MacArthur card. Next card. Derek Brassard. What can we say about Derek Brassard? Pretty solid player. We might remember him from his Columbus days. He was also traded to New York. He's one of those guys who always ends up in big trade packages at the deadline.
That's true.
For somebody good, for somebody better. And last card is Craig Anderson. Let's see.
Craig Anderson. So all 3 were from Ottawa? What are the chances?
So I guess like I said, they're theme packs, but this is a Tim Hortons card actually from 2018. You can see it's got Hall holographics there, so kind of special. Okay, next pack.
Okay, here we go. I hope this next pack's better.
It's
already starting. No, it's well. Actually,
Riley
it's not a
Smith.
bad card.
Okay, so
It's a veteran.
this is just a basic 5-card set.
5-card set. Okay.
Riley Smith. It's like a
Riley
little
Smith.
Parkhurst card. Next
Oh,
one.
The
This
next
looks like a
one is
vintage.
the cards I used to pull.
It's a vintage card.
Yep. Ian Duncan, right? From the
Yeah.
Winnipeg Jets. Man, that's a blast from the past.
You're familiar
I
with the
used to
player.
pull those cards. I never seen that one. It's the
Okay.
old Jets jersey and everything.
So you can see it's from way back.
Back
It's
in the
got
day.
his stats from 88, 89.
Okay. By the way, am I
And
giving you the bad luck? That's what I want to know.
I don't think
Clint
so. Okay.
Malarchuk
Clinton Larchuk.
almost died on the ice.
Right.
Cut
Who was
his jugular. If he wasn't on that end of the stadium, he would have died. There was a doctor that was in the stadium that came down and helped him. Blood was shooting everywhere. It was awful. I'm
It
so
was all
glad
on
he's
ice.
alive.
You guys can actually find it on YouTube. The clip of him getting his neck sliced, and the poor backup goalie who had to stand in the net afterward because
Right.
they didn't completely clean out the blood. Okay, next card. Okay, if you can believe it, this is the third John Drews card I've gotten.
Get out of the city.
Okay, last
That's
card.
awesome.
Okay, you're gonna like this one.
Okay. Oliver Ekman Larson. It's a sign. It's a sign that we're cursed.
He's wearing the Kachina, and he's got the C too.
It's the old Coyotes jersey.
This is the 2021. Well, the last card is the 2021. So this is from right before he got traded to the Canucks. And we have one last pack for you.
Okay, one last pack. Let's do
The
it.
theme is 2000s. Got a 3-card set here. Okay. Just I can't see it. Just to prove to you guys and podcast listeners, you're just gonna take my word.
Okay, here we go. Drum roll for all the audio guys. More. What is it called? What is it called?
This is the base pack, Jason Pominville.
Yeah.
Next up we got
Again, Clark MacArthur.
Oh, this is
Oh no, it's not. This is someone else.
this
Who
is a
that?
rookie Mike Richards.
Oh yeah, I love. That's actually pretty good.
So he's about
Philadelphia Flyers.
4 or 5 years out from playing for Team Canada in Vancouver at this point.
Nice.
And the final card.
Final card. Jay Bouwmeester, Florida Panthers, Upper Deck. Let's go.
You remember he was a big get when he got traded out of Florida. He went to Calgary. Remember that? So
yeah, I just met someone who said they met Joe Bouwmeester in the bar in Calgary.
Oh, really?
Yeah, back in the day.
And I'll show you this.
Yeah,
helmet.
That's pretty cool.
It's the I think it's the Bauer 4500. It's my favorite helmet of all time.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Awesome, man. Well, thanks for sharing those packs with me. Whoops, as I literally moved you out. I hit the wrong button.
All good.
Great having you here, man. I love this kind of discussion. I love connecting with you about the Canucks. Again, like I said, I think you guys do great work at Headspace Hockey. Keep up the great work. And I want to thank everyone for being here. I know that we didn't get into tons of comments tonight. Maybe do you have time for 5 comments?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to go to Fabled Hero. It says, what if Novotny makes the team out of camp?
If Novotny were to make the team, imagine him on a line with Rossi and Ogren. It's the Quinn Hughes trade line.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. Okay. Next one. This isn't a question, but unbelievable jerseys, guys. Canucks need to modernize these and do a throwback night. I'd be all for it. Look at these. This is the Bertuzzi Naslin combo tonight. It's
Do
pretty
you
fun.
remember in the 2020 season, it was their 50th anniversary, and they kept wearing like jerseys from throughout the years, but they only did them in warm-ups.
Yeah.
And I think they were Adidas branded, but I'm like, why wouldn't you just wear them? It's 50th year. Come on.
Right. Absolutely. Jackson the Billion says, my answer to the title is the Canucks rebuild killer, and I'm talking about Demko. He's like, no, I'm not worried. Demko will be hurt again. I mean, that's what people think about Demko and Hedel. That makes sense. So, yeah, it's that's what's most likely going to happen, but it is tough to know. Maybe they stay healthy.
If you are Team Tank, and I know you're out there, you're gonna have to hope that he gets hurt, right? Because if he's in there, he's money.
Yeah. But if you just look at track record, it's going to be really tough for him to stay healthy. I think that injury is really difficult. He's saying he's like one of the only ones was it in the NHL or was it in sports that's had this injury trying to come back from it? It's something like that. It's
it's very
probably
rare.
The NHL is probably what the answer is.
He said that he knows of the popliteus has only occurred with soccer players.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's tough. Chris says, I'm excited Canucks training camp comes back to the South Okanagan Event Center in Penticton. I've been to those Young Stars games, and those are fantastic. That's not coming back, but you're right. The training camp is coming back to Penticton. I was hoping it was going to go to Victoria so I could go, but it's not going to be there. It's going to be in Penticton. World-class stadium there. They're now in the WHL. So if you are in the Okanagan or want to make the trek, I highly recommend it to you guys. Have you been to any of the training camps when they're in Vancouver or anywhere?
Unfortunately, no. I would have loved to seen the one in Whistler, because that's a really nice facility. So no, not yet for me.
Well, Shannon wants to go to Penticton, so if you're going to go, pick her up, okay? And Prickfetti's here, and he says, I used to say that he's number 35 because that's a reminder of his maximum games allowed. But I hope he stays healthy. That's fair. But Jack's saying, I think he's close to retirement, and he's probably right. Now, Elfrin is in the building and says, imagine Gerald came on wearing a Morrison Orca jersey. We're riding the West Coast Express again. That's actually an awesome. He must have one of those, right?
I've actually asked, because I was out with him and Witten one time, and I know Witten has a Bertuzzi. He has the salmon Orca jersey,
right?
With the Bertuzzi numbers, but unfortunately, no Morrison.
Yeah. And then KJ Green says Novotny making the team just expedites the DeBrusque trade. Where do you think? Why do you think that he has not been traded yet?
I believe it's the lack of rush. They just want a good return. Do you remember the rumor that that the ask from Pittsburgh in a Pettersson trade was Ben Kindle?
Yeah.
And everyone scoffed. They're like, why would Pittsburgh do that? But I believe that is actually what he asked. And that is to say, not that he thought that he was going to get it, but to tell the rest of the league, we're not going to be lowballed. And with these guys, they're not in a cap crunch. There's even with players we have, we still have lots of space. I think if we trade Pettersson, we're in danger of not making the cap floor, actually. So, yeah, I don't think that they are too worried about it. Especially with you guys got guys like Hronek, let's say, if they want to trade him, well, they're just gonna wait a year, and he's gonna have that limited no trade, and they can send him wherever they want.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I think that's the key, right? They have value. He had 19 power play goals last year. Like, I don't know about you, but like that's value. And it's, you can say, oh, you're on the worst team in the league and blah, blah, blah. Just put him on the power play and see what he does. We already know what he does. With Boston, he was a playoff performer. He killed the Leafs twice, maybe 3 times. Like, how this guy has not been sought after. It's like, well, he's streaky. Yeah, so what? Get him to the playoffs, and this guy's going to produce for you. Like San Jose, why aren't you going to get him? You're going to make the playoffs this year, you know?
The ticket he's on, right? You know, think of what comparable players are making in the league. Someone who's top 5 in power play goals, you're talking about like, you know, more like a $7 or $8 million player. He's only making 5.5. If you want him, go get him.
Right. Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you everyone for being here. And thank you, Swervin Yrvin, for being here. Guys, go hit the like and subscribe on Headspace Hockey. Give them some love. These guys are grinding, doing some great work. I gotta, say hi to Gerald for me. It would have been fun if I should have sent him the link too, and then he'd surprise you and like, hey, and then you're like, I can never get away from this guy. No, it's okay. But appreciate you being here. Let's continue to collab together, you guys and me. And I'd love to have you back. So, any parting words you have for everyone?
Believe in blue and watch Headspace Hockey.
All right, guys. That's right. Believe in blue. Okay. Let's get pumped about this rebuild. And of course, always go Canucks. Go.